If you woke up feeling different today, it wasn't random. It was a spiritual alarm. The most important awakening of your lifetime has begun. And if you miss it, you may miss your divine purpose. What's happening right now isn't just another energetic shift. It's the kind of spiritual pivot that only comes once in a generation. The kind that turns ordinary lives into divine missions. If you feel like you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This message found you for a reason, and by the time you reach the end of this video, your spirit will recognize why. Lately, you've been feeling disconnected from the world, haven't you? More than usual. Like you're floating between timelines, people, and even versions of yourself. Some things that once excited you now feel dull. Some people you loved feel distant. And yet, deep down, you sense something massive is approaching, but you can't quite explain what. That's because your soul is remembering its true path. A path that has nothing to do with society's distractions or the fake urgency of the world's noise. This moment you're stepping into, it's sacred, it's ancient, and it's yours. We are entering a time when spiritual warriors will rise, not in loud chaos, but in silent certainty. The awakening isn't coming through a loud crash. It's already here, whispering through your intuition, your dreams, your discomfort. The unease you've been feeling is not anxiety. It's alignment. It's your soul pulling you away from the systems that kept you numb and toward a mission that will set your spirit on fire. The old timeline is collapsing. If you're honest with yourself, you can feel it. What once made you feel safe now feels restrictive. What once brought you pleasure now leaves you empty. This is not a coincidence. The universe is applying pressure because diamonds are only created through intense force. You are that diamond. And this is your moment of pressure. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Let it shape you. You're not breaking. You're transforming. You've probably noticed that people are acting strangely around you. Some are suddenly distant, others overly reactive. You might feel isolated, or like you're walking through life unseen. But listen carefully. You're not being rejected. You're being spiritually reassigned. You're not here to fit into their frequency. You're here to rise above it. The disconnection is not punishment. It's preparation. Because when the world gets louder, the chosen ones get quieter and go inward. Everything is happening in divine timing. That failed plan, it was protection. That delay, it was alignment. That person who ghosted you, it was a blessing in disguise. What you thought was loss was actually liberation. The universe is removing everything that cannot go with you into this next season. It hurts now, yes, but the emptiness it leaves behind is sacred space for new blessings. Your soul asked for expansion, and this is what it looks like. This awakening doesn't come with fireworks. It comes with silence, with solitude, with stillness. You've probably felt exhausted, even when you've done nothing. That's not laziness. That's energetic detox. Your old self is dying. The version of you that played small, tolerated nonsense, and lived in fear, it's fading. And your higher self, the version of you that was born to lead, love, and lift others, is finally emerging. But you must stay awake. You must not go back to sleep. The world will try to distract you. Social media will try to hypnotize you. Fear will try to paralyze you. But none of it has real power unless you give it your attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And right now, you need every ounce of energy focused on rising, not reacting. On healing, not hating. On becoming, not blaming. The next chapter of your life doesn't need more effort. It needs more alignment. Your soul already knows what to do. You just need to stop interrupting its whispers with your doubts. This is why your past had to be so painful. You had to learn what love isn't so you could recognize what love is. You had to feel broken so you could discover that you were never truly breakable. You had to be lied to so you could crave truth. All of it. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every closed door, it was all part of the design. You're not cursed. You're chosen. And chosen ones don't get easy lives. They get purpose-driven lives. And purpose always comes with fire. So here you are, standing at the edge of your old life, looking into the unknown. It's terrifying, isn't it? But also liberating, because deep inside, you know you're not who you used to be. You're stronger, clearer. Even your silence feels more powerful now. You're not interested in gossip. You're not chasing validation. You're not pretending to be okay anymore. You're ready. Ready for real peace, real purpose, real power. And this awakening is the gateway to all of it. Let go of the idea that you need to be perfect to begin. You just need to be present. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need a 5-second decision to say yes. Yes to your calling. Yes to your healing. Yes to your truth. That small yes is what unlocks divine momentum. Say it now, in your spirit. Say yes to what you already know is meant for you. Even if you can't see the full path, trust that every step you take in faith will be met with support from the unseen. The universe does not move for those who wait. It moves for those who act in alignment. And now, right now, is when you act. Not out of panic, but out of purpose. Not out of fear, but out of fire. The kind of fire that burns away your past, clears the way, and lights the road ahead. There is no map for this path, because no one has walked it the way you will. You're not here to copy someone else's blueprint. You're here to be the blueprint. And if you've made it this far into this video, it means your soul already knew what I'm saying before I ever said it. This is just confirmation. You're not crazy. You're not lost. You're waking up. And the world needs awakened souls now more than ever. Because while most people sleepwalk through life, numbed by fear, you're choosing to open your eyes, to feel deeply, to walk consciously. That is not weakness. That is the highest form of strength. You were never meant to live a life of quiet suffering. You weren't created to shrink, to dim, to mold yourself into what others find acceptable. That's why it's been hurting so much lately. Because the version of you that people could control is dying. And every time you try to go back to being who you were, your soul resists. That tightness in your chest, that heaviness in your spirit, it's not depression. It's your higher self refusing to be silenced any longer. The time of pretending is over. You can't fake it anymore. You can't smile through lies. You can't sit in rooms that drain you. You can't say yes when your whole body is screaming no. This is your rebirth. But birth is messy. It's painful. It comes with contractions, tears, and blood. You're being spiritually born again. And that means everything false has to fall away. You can't carry the weight of who you used to be into the world you're about to enter. So yes, some people are going to leave. Let them. Some opportunities will pass you by. Let them go. The universe is not punishing you. It's refining you. Every closed door is spiritual redirection. Every delay is divine orchestration. You have no idea the power that's being prepared behind the scenes for you, simply because you stayed true when it would have been easier to fold. The reward for your obedience is not just survival, it's elevation. And let's be clear, this awakening isn't a trend. It's not about aesthetics or Instagram captions. It's about integrity. Real spiritual awakening strips you down. It makes you face every part of yourself, the light and the dark. It humbles you. It softens you. It breaks you in places you didn't know existed. And then it builds you back, not into a version that others like, but into the version you were born to be. You'll cry for no reason. You'll isolate more often. You'll feel like you're losing your mind some days. But that's part of the process. You're not going crazy. You're shedding illusions. The illusions they taught you in school. The lies they fed you through media. The false beliefs you inherited from wounded ancestors. It's all unraveling. And that's why it feels chaotic. You're unplugging from the matrix and reconnecting to the source, the real source. And once that reconnection happens, everything begins to change. You'll stop looking for signs because you'll realize you are the sign. You'll stop begging for clarity because the silence will become your teacher. You'll stop searching for love in broken places because you'll finally remember that you are love. You don't have to chase. You don't have to prove. You don't have to perform. Just be. And from that being, miracles unfold. This is why your energy has become more sensitive. You're not crazy for not wanting to be around certain people. You're not antisocial. You're energy aware. Your soul is starting to reject what once entertained your ego. Parties feel shallow. Conversations feel fake. Your body gets tired around certain energy fields. Listen to that. Protect that. Because you're not just shifting emotionally. You're being upgraded spiritually. And upgrades require insulation. Think about this. Before a rocket launches, it detaches from all unnecessary weight. It doesn't carry things that won't survive the atmosphere. The same goes for you. Some relationships can't go where you're going. Some habits can't survive this altitude. And some parts of your old identity will not be recognized in your new frequency. That's why things are falling apart. So your life can finally come together the right way. But be warned, not everyone will understand. Some will call you distant. Some will call you arrogant. Some will say you've changed. And they'll be right. You have changed. And you're supposed to. Staying the same in a dying world is not loyalty. It's spiritual stagnation. Growth requires letting go. Evolution requires sacrifice. Don't apologize for transforming in the direction of your truth. You weren't meant to live a copy-paste life. You weren't created to fit into boxes built by those who never knew your purpose. You are an original. And with that originality comes responsibility. To protect your energy, to honor your path, to speak your truth even when your voice shakes. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be light. The most powerful thing you can do during this awakening is stop betraying yourself. Stop agreeing with lies just to keep the peace. Stop ignoring your intuition just to avoid conflict. Stop silencing your soul just to be accepted. That false peace is costing you real purpose. And the longer you stay in misalignment, the more intense the signs will get. Life will shake you, break you, strip you, until you finally say, I surrender. Show me the truth. And when you do, that's when everything shifts. The synchronicities begin. You meet the right people at the right time. Doors open that you didn't even knock on. You feel more calm, even in chaos. You sleep better. You breathe deeper. Your body starts to heal. Your heart feels lighter. And your spirit, it begins to soar. Because you're no longer surviving. You're living. And you're no longer just living. You're awakening. But understand this. Awakening doesn't mean you'll never feel fear again. It means fear no longer controls your life. It means you feel the fear and keep moving. It means you stop waiting for everything to make sense and start trusting the path with your eyes closed. You develop faith muscles. You stop outsourcing your power to others. You realize the guru is within. The healer is within. The teacher is within. And the more you go inward, the more you glow outward. There's no turning back now. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Once your spirit expands, it refuses to shrink. You've crossed a spiritual threshold. The light inside you is now stronger than the darkness around you. You're not who you were last year, last month, or even last week. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Because every time you rise, the collective rises with you. You're not just awakening for yourself. You're awakening for your bloodline, for your children, for generations to come. And maybe right now, it feels like you're walking alone. But you're not. There are others, souls across the world, waking up just like you, feeling the pull, hearing the call, saying no to the noise, and yes to the divine. You are not alone. You are part of a hidden movement, a spiritual revolution. And though we may never meet in person, we are connected, heart to heart. soul to soul, light to light. And now that you're awake, the world will start testing your awareness. Don't be surprised when you're tempted with the very patterns you thought you had outgrown. Old wounds will surface, familiar chaos will return, but this time, you'll see it differently. You'll pause before reacting. You'll breathe before breaking. You'll choose peace over proving. And in that moment, that sacred gap between the trigger and the response, you'll realize, I've changed. This is where the real awakening begins, not in the light, but in how you carry the light through darkness. Anyone can feel spiritual on a mountaintop or in a yoga class, but can you stay grounded when nothing makes sense? Can you remain centered when people misunderstand you? Can you hold on to your inner truth when the world demands you abandon it? That's where your strength is born. You don't need to shout to be powerful. You don't need to explain yourself to be valid. Energy speaks louder than words, and your energy is shifting massively. That's why certain people are suddenly quiet around you. They can feel your frequency rising. They can sense the clarity in your spirit. Not everyone is ready for that, and that's okay. You're not here to dim for their comfort. You're here to shine, fiercely, freely, fully. Every cell in your body is aligning with this new path. You may feel physical symptoms, headaches, fatigue, ringing in your ears, heart flutters. Don't panic. Your body is recalibrating. You're upgrading. The old energetic blueprints are being rewritten. The universe is downloading a new mission into your soul, and your body, the sacred vessel, is preparing to carry it. Be gentle with yourself. Rest when needed. Hydrate. Walk barefoot. Get sunlight. Nature is your medicine right now. And while you're healing, the distractions will intensify. The noise will get louder. Social media will tempt your time. People will provoke your peace. The world will try to drag you back into its chaos. But you've tasted alignment now. You've felt truth in your bones. You can't unknow what your soul has seen. That's your power. Your awareness is your weapon. Use it. You're becoming more intuitive. Have you noticed? You sense things before they happen. You feel energy in a room before a word is spoken. You dream vividly. You feel people's intentions before they reveal them. That's not paranoia. That's discernment. That's spiritual intelligence. Trust it. Don't gaslight your own soul. If something feels off, it is off. Don't wait for proof. Move with your knowing. This level of clarity comes at a cost. You'll outgrow people you once admired. You'll detach from environments you used to crave. You'll stop engaging in meaningless chatter. You'll crave solitude more than attention. And though it may feel lonely at times, it's sacred. You're not lonely. You're becoming whole. You're not missing out. You're tuning in. And what you're tuning into is far greater than what the world could ever offer. There's something else happening too. Your voice is returning. That voice you buried to keep the peace. That voice you muted to fit in. That voice that wanted to scream when you were told to smile. It's rising again. Louder, stronger, unapologetic. And it's not here to cause chaos. It's here to restore order. Spiritual awakening isn't just about feeling good. It's about speaking truth. And truth, when spoken with love, becomes liberation. You'll begin to realize how many masks you were wearing. The one you wore at work, the one you wore with friends, the one you wore with family. Now they're cracking. And underneath all those layers is you, the real you, the raw, wild, divinely designed you. And though it may feel terrifying to finally show up as you are, it's the most powerful thing you'll ever do. This version of you isn't afraid to walk away from what no longer feeds your soul. This version doesn't need permission to protect their peace. This version has boundaries and keeps them. This version forgives, but never forgets the lesson. This version is rooted in truth, bathed in grace, and unshakable in storm. This version isn't found in books. It's found through fire. Because yes, you've been through fire. You've walked through things that would have broken others. You've smiled with tears in your eyes. You've loved while healing. You've stood in rooms where you weren't welcomed and still chose to shine. That wasn't weakness. That was preparation. Every scar you carry is a seed of wisdom. Every heartbreak a portal. Every closed door a redirection. You weren't being destroyed. You were being forged. Now you see. Now you know. Now you're aware. That makes you powerful. That makes you dangerous to the system. Because awakened people don't follow blindly. They don't consume unconsciously. They don't hate themselves quietly. They ask questions. They challenge narratives. They choose presence over programming. That's why the world wants you distracted. It's afraid of what happens when you remember who you are. And what happens next is something most people won't understand. You'll begin to unplug from gossip, from drama, from chasing validation. You'll stop trying to fix everyone. You'll stop trying to be liked. You'll stop saying yes when you mean no. And in that detachment, you'll find freedom. Peace becomes your priority. Stillness becomes your sanctuary. And joy. Joy returns, not because life is perfect, but because you've finally come home to yourself. You've done the inner work. You've faced your shadows. You've listened to the whispers. And now, you're being asked to trust, not just in divine timing, not just in God's plan, but in yourself, in your worth, in your path. Because what's coming, what's unfolding, will require you to show up as the most honest, raw, aligned version of yourself. No more pretending, no more shrinking, no more playing small. You are the vessel. You are the messenger. You are the miracle someone is praying for. Your awakening isn't just about your personal peace. It's about your divine impact. There's someone right now watching your journey in silence. They're drawing strength from your courage. They're healing through your example. That's how powerful your light is. It reaches places your words never will. The universe has placed you exactly where you need to be. Right now, this very moment is part of a divine sequence. You might not understand it yet, but there is a reason for your placement, your timing, your struggle, your awakening. There are no coincidences when your soul is involved. Even the people who left you, the ones who betrayed you, the closed doors, the missed calls, all of it shaped the fire that forged your new vision. And now that you're standing in this awakened space, you start to feel something different in your chest. A subtle pull, a quiet knowing, a gentle urge that says, it's time. Not just to heal, not just to rest, but to rise, to become, to embody. You see, awareness without action is spiritual sleepwalking. And you didn't come this far just to watch your life from the sidelines. You came to shift things, to realign reality, to be the bridge between heaven and earth. So you'll begin moving differently. You'll wake up earlier, not because you have to, but because your soul craves the silence before the noise. You'll eat differently, not out of guilt, but out of respect for the body that carries your energy. You'll talk less, because your energy will speak for you. You'll listen more, because the universe has been whispering answers this whole time. And most of all, you'll stop trying to force what's not meant for you. Because now you know, if it's not in alignment, it's not worth it. This is where your internal compass becomes louder than external opinions. People might say you've changed, and they're right. You've changed your vibration. You've changed what you tolerate. You've changed the conversation. You've stopped entertaining fear-based stories. You're no longer addicted to suffering. You're no longer confused about your worth. That's growth. That's expansion. That's the cost of waking up. You lose everything fake. But in return, you gain something priceless. Clarity. You start seeing through facades. You recognize manipulation. You feel when someone's soul is aligned, and when they're just wearing a mask. You read between the lines. You sense the energy behind the words. And suddenly, the things you used to chase feel empty. You don't want noise anymore. You don't want crowds that don't feed your soul. You crave presence. You crave peace. You crave truth. And the truth is, you were never lost. You were just layered, covered in conditioning, dressed in expectations, wrapped in the noise of a world that benefits from your confusion. But now the layers are falling. The masks are breaking. The old self is dissolving. You're remembering what was always there beneath it all. A powerful, divine being, born with purpose, protected by grace, and fueled by something far greater than ego. Spirit. That spirit inside you isn't here to follow trends or fit molds. It's ancient. It remembers lifetimes. It speaks in symbols. It dreams in visions. It doesn't need to make sense. It needs to be felt. And as your mind quiets, that spirit becomes louder. It tells you to trust when it makes no sense, to walk away when logic says stay, to leap before you see the net. That's not recklessness. That's alignment. The world will call it crazy. Let them. They don't understand what it feels like to know something in your bones before it happens. They don't understand the sacred nudges that guide you through chaos. They don't understand the deep inner peace that follows obedience to your calling. But you do. You feel it. You're living it. And no amount of doubt can shake what was revealed to you in silence. So don't water yourself down. Don't apologize for growing. Don't shrink to fit spaces you've outgrown. This version of you has been earned. With tears, with silence, with sacrifice. You prayed for this. You cried for this. You bled for this. Now walk in it. Embody it. Don't just talk about awakening. Live it. Because here's the thing. Your life is the message. Your energy is the transmission. The way you walk, speak, breathe, love, forgive. That's your legacy. That's your vibration echoing beyond this moment. People won't remember what you said. They'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember the peace you carried into the room, the light in your eyes, the calm in your presence. That's what awakening gives you, not just knowledge, but embodiment. And this embodiment becomes magnetic. People will be drawn to you and not know why. They'll sense something in you that they've been craving. Authenticity. You've become rare, real, raw. You've become a mirror for what others are hiding from. Some will love you for it. Others will resent you for it. But none will forget you, because truth leaves an imprint. And you, dear soul, are now walking in truth. You'll realize how much energy you used to waste trying to be understood. How much time you gave trying to fix people who didn't want healing. How much of yourself you sacrificed for crumbs of validation. And when you reclaim all that energy, you'll feel powerful. You'll feel whole. And from that overflow, your real purpose will rise. Not to save anyone, but to serve the light through your unique expression. That expression might look different from what you imagined. It might be art. It might be silence. It might be parenting, or building, or creating, or holding space for someone else's pain. It doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be true. That's all the universe asks of you now. Be true. Be aligned. Be present. Everything else will take care of itself. And in the background of your life, divine timing is orchestrating things you can't yet see. Connections are being aligned. Doors are being prepared. Opportunities are forming. It's all happening. Not by force, but by frequency. When you become the vibration of what you seek, it starts seeking you. That's the new law of your life now. Alignment attracts. So keep aligning. Keep clearing. Keep trusting. The shift you feel is real. The timing is divine. And the awakening, it's just getting started. You're not imagining it. The air around you is different. It's thicker with presence. Time feels like it's folding in on itself. Synchronicities are happening more frequently. You're noticing repeating numbers, hearing the same message in different ways, crossing paths with people who feel like soul echoes. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. The veil is thinning. Your consciousness is expanding. And the universe is speaking to you in a language deeper than words. At this stage of your awakening, you'll notice that even your desires have shifted. The things you used to crave don't hit the same anymore. Temporary thrills feel hollow. Surface-level conversations feel draining. You're not looking to escape. You're looking to embody. You're not chasing love. You're becoming love. You're not praying for signs. You are the sign. You're becoming the very thing your past self used to seek. And because of that, you've become a portal, a walking channel, an anchor of light in a world clouded with distraction. People can sense something is different about you, even if they can't explain it. It's not the way you look, it's the way you feel. It's the stillness in your aura, the depth in your silence, the steadiness in your presence. Without saying a word, your energy is preaching freedom. But here's where the real test begins, because when you awaken to this level of consciousness, the universe will test you, not to punish you, but to strengthen your knowing. You'll be tempted to go back to old habits, back to comfort zones, back to people who no longer align with your vibration. But now you'll feel it in your body when something is off. You won't be able to unsee the truth. You won't be able to tolerate what drains you. This is the spiritual muscle being built. The courage to walk away from almosts. The faith to wait for alignment. The power to protect your peace, not out of fear, but from a deep understanding that your energy is sacred now. You've been chosen to carry something higher, a vision, a message, a mission, and not everyone can walk with you where you're going. That realization will hurt, because your heart is pure. You want to bring everyone with you. You want to share the light with the people you love. But not everyone wants to wake up. Not everyone is ready to see themselves, and your presence will trigger their illusions. Your truth will shake their comfort. Your growth will reflect what they've been avoiding. That's not your fault. That's not your responsibility. Your only job is to stay aligned. And as you do, life starts responding differently. Resistance fades. Flow increases. You'll notice how doors open without force. How peace becomes your new baseline. How even in chaos, you remain grounded. That's not luck. That's alignment in action. That's the reward of walking in truth. That's the divine order you've stepped into. The old world is crumbling around you. Systems are breaking. Norms are dissolving. Falsehoods are being exposed. What was hidden is now being revealed, not just globally, but personally. That's why you're being upgraded. That's why your frequency is rising. The universe needs clear channels. People who can hold the vibration of truth when the world gets loud. That's you now. You're being trusted with a new level of responsibility. Not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. Willing to feel, willing to heal, willing to unlearn, willing to release what no longer serves. And that willingness has created a vortex around your life. A field of attraction so magnetic that miracles are starting to orbit you. You might not see them yet, but they're gathering. You can feel it, that quiet excitement, that unexplainable hope, that deep sense of something big is about to happen. That's your soul recognizing what your eyes can't see. And while others are distracted by fear, you're grounded in faith. While others are stuck in cycles, you're stepping into purpose. While others are numbing out, you're feeling it all. You're not bypassing the pain. You're transmuting it. You're not escaping the dark. You're lighting it up. That's real power. That's what it means to awaken. You stop reacting to the world and start recreating it from the inside out. So breathe deeply. Feel this moment. You've arrived at a turning point. The version of you who doubted, who feared, who waited, they're no longer leading. Your higher self is now in control. The part of you that remembers your mission. The part of you that trusts the unknown. The part of you that knows you were born for this exact chapter. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are being accelerated. You are being activated. This is your spiritual quickening. The moment when lifetimes of lessons collapse into a single realization. You've always been enough. You've always been connected. You've always been guided. You just forgot. But now you remember. So what do you do with this remembering? You walk differently. You pray differently. You love differently. You no longer seek to be chosen. You recognize that you were always chosen. The awakening wasn't to make you different. It was to remind you who you already are. And who you are is light in human form. A soul wrapped in skin. A miracle with a heartbeat. You are not here to survive. You are here to shine. And the world is waiting. Not for another copy. Not for another trend. But for you. The real you. The awake you. The embodied you. So let it come. Let the energy rise. Let the purpose unfold. You don't need a map. You are the map. Every step you take in alignment reveals the next. Trust that. Follow that. And everything else will align. You weren't meant to fit in. That ache you've always felt, that invisible line between you and the world, it was never a flaw. It was your soul protecting your frequency. You couldn't blend in because you were born to stand apart. You were meant to hear what others ignore, to feel what others numb, to see what most are still blind to. And now, that difference is your destiny. That separation was sacred. You're starting to realize the truth. The crowd isn't always right. Popular doesn't mean aligned. Loud doesn't mean wise. The path to awakening is quiet. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And you're finally tuned into that whisper. It's subtle, but powerful. It tells you when to move, when to let go, when to speak, and when to remain still. That whisper, that's your divine compass. And now more than ever, you have to trust it. Everything is speeding up. Time feels thinner. Reality is more fluid. And your thoughts, they're manifesting faster. That's why you've been urged to clean your mind, cleanse your emotions, purify your intentions, because your vibration is no longer just affecting you. It's radiating outward. You've become a mirror for others, a reflector, a transmitter. And your energy now speaks louder than words ever could. And here's the sacred paradox. The deeper you go within, the more the external world transforms. The less you chase, the more you attract. The more you surrender, the stronger you become. Control is an illusion. Force is outdated. This new era is about allowing, receiving, flowing, not from laziness, but from mastery. You are not stepping back in weakness. You are stepping aside to let your higher self lead. And because of that surrender, doors are opening that logic could never unlock. Conversations are flowing that ego could never spark. Encounters are happening that defy planning. You are now living by divine appointment. Each moment has meaning. Each delay has purpose. Each shift is sacred. Don't rush this. Don't doubt it. You're being aligned with something so much greater than what you thought you needed. But here's the part most won't understand. In this awakening, you'll lose things. Friends, identities, comforts, versions of yourself that once felt like home. And it will feel like death. Because it is. The death of your illusion. The death of your old story. The death of your need to please, to perform, to pretend. You're not just changing habits, you're being reborn. And rebirth always comes after the breakdown. So if it's crumbling, let it. If it's leaving, release it. If it hurts, feel it. Because that pain isn't punishment, it's purification. You are being emptied so that you can be filled with truth, with purpose, with power. This is the cost of awakening. You must give up who you were in order to become who you truly are. And that process will challenge everything you once believed. But it will also set you free. You'll stop living for validation. You'll stop chasing approval. You'll stop measuring yourself by how much you produce, how much you're liked, how much you're needed. Because none of that is real power. Real power is inner peace. Real wealth is clarity. Real freedom is authenticity. And now that you've tasted truth, you'll never settle for the false again. This is why distractions feel louder, why your spirit is repelled by shallow noise, because your soul is hungry for depth, You're no longer entertained by what used to captivate you. That's not boredom. That's evolution. Your consciousness is expanding. Your standards are rising. Your vision is sharpening. You're being pulled to higher ground. And that means leaving behind what can't go with you. The people who mocked your journey, who laughed at your silence, who dismissed your intuition, they'll start to notice the shift. Your glow will speak volumes. Your peace will become undeniable. Not because you proved anything, but because you became everything they said you couldn't. And not out of spite, but from obedience to your inner calling. And now you're entering the season where the divine starts to show what it's been shaping in silence. The prayers you whispered through tears, they were heard. The nights you felt forgotten, they were recorded. The moments you thought were wasted, they were seeds. And now the harvest is near. But you must stay in alignment. You must stay available to the divine timing. Because what's coming doesn't require force. It requires readiness. You don't need to chase it. You need to become it. The love you want, become love. The abundance you desire, embody worth. The breakthrough you're praying for, walk like it's already yours. This is not delusion. This is energetic preparation. The universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to embodiment. And you're ready now. Even if your mind doubts it, even if your ego resists it, even if fear whispers, who are you to step into this light? You reminded, I am who I've always been. I just forgot for a while. But now, I remember. And when you remember who you are, mountains move, time bends, heaven responds. This is not just another phase. This is not hype. This is sacred. You're in the middle of a spiritual event that was written into your soul's timeline before you were born. That's why it feels so familiar, like a homecoming you didn't expect but knew was coming. That's why even through the confusion, something inside you is whispering, this is right. Keep going. You're not crazy. You're not late. You're not broken. You're awakening. And the world is about to witness what happens when someone stops pretending and starts remembering. There is no going back now. You've crossed the threshold. You've walked through the fire. And on the other side is the real you. You're not who you were at the start of this video. Something in you has shifted. Not because I said something magical, but because you were already on the edge. You were already being prepared. This was just the spark, the confirmation. The divine needed you to hear this now because tomorrow is too late. The shift is now. You're being activated in real time. This isn't just spiritual theory. This is happening in your body, in your mind, in your life. You may feel lightheaded. You may feel emotional. That's energy moving. That's stagnation breaking loose. That's your soul stepping forward and saying, I'm ready to lead now. Don't push it away. Don't suppress it. Let it rise. The awakening that's begun in you is irreversible. You've now seen too much to go back to sleep. You've felt too much to pretend you don't care. You've tasted purpose. And nothing else will satisfy. This is why old patterns now feel sickening. Why people you once entertained now feel foreign. Why situations you used to tolerate now feel unbearable. Because your spirit is detoxing. Your frequency is elevating, and anything that doesn't match must fall away. Don't resist that collapse. Let the old crumble. Let the fake fall off. Let the false dissolve. This is how your new life makes space to emerge. This isn't punishment. This is divine alignment. The universe doesn't take without giving. What you lose now is simply being exchanged for something infinitely greater. Trust that. Rest in that. You don't have to know the whole path. You just need to take the next right step. That's faith. That's trust. That's surrender. You're not here to have it all figured out. You're here to be aligned, to be honest, to be awake. Let each step unfold like a divine mystery. Let your higher self write this story in real time. The mind wants a blueprint. The soul wants a journey. And you're finally choosing the journey. This is why synchronicities have increased, why signs keep showing up, why numbers, dreams, repeated phrases all seem to be chasing you. Because they are. Spirit is speaking. The universe is guiding. Angels are surrounding. You are not walking alone anymore. You never were. But now your eyes are open enough to see it. This is your time. Not in the egoic sense. Not to prove anything. But because the world needs awakened souls more than ever. While others scream in fear, you will stand in peace. While others rush, you will flow. While others chase validation, you will anchor truth. That is your divine assignment. To be a calm in the chaos. You don't need to convert anyone. You don't need to preach. Just be. Your vibration is your message. Your presence is your teaching. Your energy is your offering. And those who are ready will find you. You won't need to force. You won't need to beg. The right people, the right opportunities, the right alignments will be magnetized to you. Because you've now become a vessel of truth, and truth always attracts truth. But remember this, every awakening comes with tests. The universe will ask you, are you serious about this path? It will bring back old temptations, old patterns, old wounds, not to destroy you, but to confirm you. You're not being punished, you're being proven. Stay grounded, stay clean, stay centered. The storm is just a mirror to show you how steady you've become. And yes, fear will still whisper, doubt will still visit, but now you'll recognize it for what it is. Noise, ghosts from an old identity, shadows from a version of you that no longer exists. You don't need to fight it. You just need to keep walking, keep glowing, keep rising. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop a soul that has remembered its light. This awakening is not an escape from the world. It's a re-entry into it, with new eyes. You'll walk through the same streets, but nothing will look the same. You'll hear the same conversations, but they won't affect you the same way. You'll feel the world's chaos, but you won't absorb it, because you're not here to carry the weight of the world. You're here to light it up. So breathe deeply into this moment, into this truth. You've made it. You've heard the call. You didn't scroll past. You didn't silence the whisper. You stayed. And now, the energy you've been waiting for, it's already inside you. The light you've been searching for, it was never out there. It was always you. From this moment forward, walk like you know that. Speak like you know that. Create like you know that. Rest like you know that. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for your existence. No more playing small to make others comfortable. You are not here to dim. You are here to ignite. And as your light expands, yes, some will walk away. Let them. You don't need to be understood to be powerful. You don't need to be liked to be divine. You don't need agreement to be aligned. The right ones will find you in your truth. And the rest, they were never meant to journey with you anyway. You're being moved into divine flow. You'll feel moments of supernatural peace, unexplained joy, random bursts of clarity. That's your new normal. That's your alignment. Expect it. Trust it. Protect it. Not everyone will get access to this version of you. That's not cruelty. That's wisdom. You're not just surviving anymore. You're creating. You're not just reacting. You're directing. You're not just healing. You're embodying. You've moved from fear to faith, from confusion to clarity, from chaos to calling. And this is just the beginning. So tonight, before you sleep, don't just ask for more signs. Give thanks for the ones you've already received. Don't beg for more proof. Act like it's already confirmed. Don't ask for the light. Become it. Because the most crucial spiritual awakening of the year has already begun, and it's happening through you. You are not watching this by accident. You're watching because the divine saw you were finally ready. Ready to rise, ready to lead, ready to remember. So go. Be the proof that awakening is real, that miracles are possible, That transformation is inevitable. You've heard the call. Now answer it.